Hey everyone, Davin Christensen here from the Toronto Hash Mob. Well, the NDP have kicked off their election campaign in full swing. NDP leader Jack Layton was in Toronto today in the Davenport riding in support of Andrew Cash. The Toronto Hash Mob was there. Let's check out some of the highlights from today's speech.
And thank you, Peggy Nash and Andrew Cash, for that beautiful introduction. So, my friends, haven't we got one heck of a strong team here? I tell you, this is a team you can count on. This is a team that won't take Toronto for granted. I have a feeling at the end of this election, many of these faces are going to be seen standing up for Toronto in Parliament when we kick Stephen Harper. Sounding good, I got to tell you. You know, 5 years ago, Stephen Harper was elected with a promise that he was going to do things differently. Remember that? He promised that he would work with others to fix what was wrong in Ottawa. He said he would make your life more affordable, except he made it more expensive. I remember him saying he would make health care a priority with a wait times guarantee. He's ignored the whole issue for 5 years. He promised that he would finally clean up the liberal-style scandals that we've seen. Instead, he's just created new scandals of his own. So, after 5 years, Stephen Harper has failed to fix what's wrong in Ottawa. In fact, he's made it worse. Meanwhile, you folks are all playing by the rules and working harder than ever, and yet your household debt is higher than it's ever been in history, and it's really tough on your families. Your retirement is less secure than it was 5 years ago, that's for sure, and nothing's being done for you. Après 5 ans, Stephen Harper, he ain't. Well, it means that Ottawa is broken, and it's time for us to fix it. It's time to fix it for Vera. She's a senior here in Toronto. She's worked hard all her life. She helped to found the Black theater movement in this city. She's put her life into what goes on here. She's one of the people who built this country. And now, because of the skyrocketing cost of those everyday essentials, as a senior citizen, she doesn't have enough to cover her bills on her fixed income. And she owes over $1,000 for hydro, and she doesn't know what she's going to do about it. Her only choice was to turn the heat down as low as she possibly could in her little apartment this past winter. And you know something? That is just totally unacceptable. Seniors shouldn't have to be turning off the heat in a cold country like Canada. Our government should be standing behind Vera and making sure that that doesn't happen. Now, we've all been on the job since day one of this campaign. We started in Edmonton, where in 2008 we elected New Democrat Linda Duncan right in the Conservative heartland. Unseat a Conservative in Stephen Harper's Fortress, Alberta. Well, now everyone in Edmonton knows that if you want to defeat Stephen Harper, you vote New Democrat. Many Ontario seats where New Democrats are going to defeat Stephen Harper. And we've got to get out there and make sure that happens. And now, here I am in the great city of Toronto, asking you to join me as we build the new alternative to the Stephen Harper government. Because, my friends, you, this city, this country deserves better than we're getting from the Harper Conservatives. a Prime Minister you can count on, a Prime Minister who will help your family get ahead, not just putting the political gains to the forefront and making sure that his political friends get accommodated and the lobbyists for the big banks always get their way. You'll get someone who will put aside those political gains and will actually reach out to others who are elected to the House of Commons and say, why don't we work together to get things done for the Canadian people who sent us here? I want to bring some Canadian-style leadership to Ottawa. It's the style of leadership I learned from my dad. He was a progressive conservative cabinet minister, and he taught me the value of bringing people together and of seeing the good in everyone, of building the kind of country for our children and our grandchildren that we can be proud of. And my dad and my mom were committed and are committed to living this country better off for their kids, just like all of you are, and just like I am. And you know something? It's a value that we share with all Canadians. And that's why we've got to put this nonsense aside and get down to work. It's time that you and your families got a break as you struggle with this recession. And it's time to help the sandwich generation. I'm talking about those people who are caring for their aging parents on the one hand, and they're worried about building a future for their kids on the other hand. And we've got to tackle the issues that lie before them with a national child care program. We've got to have an affordable and a secure retirement program for everyone. And we're going to put forward concrete, practical solutions to improve the frontline health care for you and your family, starting by training and hiring and bringing on more family doctors and nurses trained in family practice. I'm asking for that strong Toronto team to be elected so that we can deliver on these commitments. The Toronto families that I speak to are looking for action on these issues. And frankly, they're tired of being taken for granted by the Ignatieff Liberals. Toronto voted Liberal to oppose Stephen Harper, but Ignatieff's Liberals have supported Stephen Harper over 100 times and unfortunately have got nothing really for Toronto in return. It's time to make a change to that agenda. They sent the Ignatieff Liberals to Ottawa to make life more affordable, but every single Ignatieff Liberal in Ottawa voted to bring the HST into Ontario. Essentials went up by 8% as a result without ever consulting with the people. Now, Toronto supports our troops and wants them brought home from Afghanistan. To do, but Michael Ignatieff broke that promise and encouraged and supported Stephen Harper's decision to extend the Afghanistan mission for another 3 years. And in this election, you can elect a team of New Democrats that will fight for Toronto, a team that will fight for this city and for the people who make it great. And I'm asking for you all to come together, to rally around this New Democrat team, because together we're going to start to build the country that we want. A Canada where no one is left behind, where everyone is part of his friends through the recession. We saw them get the big tax cuts and the big bonuses flowing. But I say now it's your turn. And I know this is the team that can help make it happen. We are all in this together. We know it's time to roll up our sleeves and make it happen. That's Canadian leadership. Let's get down and do that job together, shall we?